Have you ever scrolled through social media and felt a sinking feeling in your chest? Maybe you saw a friend's vacation photos, a colleague's promotion, or a stranger's perfect relationship, and suddenly, your own life felt small, dull, or even meaningless. You tell yourself not to care, but the comparison creeps in anyway. You wonder, why am I not there yet? What am I doing wrong? Why does everyone else seem so far ahead? If you're honest, you've probably felt this more than once. Maybe you feel it every day. In a world where everyone's highlight reel is just a click away, it's almost impossible not to measure your life against others. We compare our bodies, our jobs, our relationships, our homes, even our happiness. And every time we do, we lose a little bit of ourselves. But what if I told you that this habit of comparison isn't just a modern problem? What if the pain you feel has been felt by people for centuries, even by monks, philosophers, and spiritual masters? And what if there was a way out, a path taught by one of Japan's greatest Zen teachers, Dōgen Zenji, that can free you from the prison of comparison and help you find peace, purpose, and joy in your own unique journey? Today, I'm going to share the timeless teachings of Dōgen Zenji and how they can help you stop comparing your life to others forever. This isn't just about feeling better. It's about reclaiming your life, your energy, and your true self. But before we begin, I want you to do something brave. In the comments, write one area of your life where you constantly compare yourself to others. Is it your career, your looks, your relationships, your achievements? Make it public. Make it real. Because the first step to freedom is admitting where you feel trapped. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. This is a community of people who are done with comparison and ready to live their own story. Let's begin. Comparison is as old as humanity itself. Long before Instagram, people looked over the fence at their neighbor's house, their friend's harvest, their rival's success. The urge to measure ourselves against others is wired into our brains. It's how our ancestors survived, by watching, learning, and adapting to those around them. But what once helped us survive now makes us suffer. In the modern world, comparison is everywhere. We're bombarded with images of success, beauty, and happiness, most of it carefully curated, filtered, and staged. We see only the best moments of other people's lives, and we compare them to our worst. The result? We feel inadequate, anxious, and alone. We chase after other people's dreams, lose sight of our own path, and forget what truly matters to us. We become trapped in a cycle of envy, resentment, and self-doubt. But here's the truth: comparison is a thief. It steals your joy, your confidence, and your peace of mind. It blinds you to your own gifts, your own progress, your own unique journey. And yet, even knowing this, we can't seem to stop. Why? To understand why comparison is so powerful, we need to look deeper into the roots of our minds. Psychologists call it social comparison theory. From a young age, we learn who we are by looking at others. Are we faster, smarter, more popular, more attractive? We use others as a mirror to define our own worth. But this mirror is distorted. We see only the surface, never the struggles, doubts, or pain that others hide. We compare our behind the scenes to their highlight reel. And in doing so, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Dōgen Zenji, the 13th century founder of the Soto school of Zen, saw this problem clearly. He wrote, "If you are unable to find the truth right where you are, where else do you expect to find it?" Dōgen taught that the search for meaning, happiness, and fulfillment cannot be found by looking outward, only by turning inward. He saw that comparison is a form of ignorance, a refusal to see the unique, unrepeatable value of your own life. When you compare, you miss the miracle of your own existence. But how do we break free? How do we stop comparing when the world keeps pushing us to measure up? Dōgen's answer was both simple and profound: practice presence. He taught that the only way to escape the trap of comparison is to return, again and again, to the present moment, to your own breath, your own body, your own experience. In his masterpiece, Shobogenzo, Dōgen wrote, "To study the self is to forget the self. To forget the self is to be enlightened by all things." What does this mean? When you are fully present, you stop measuring, judging, and comparing. You become absorbed in the reality of this moment. Your senses, your actions, your being, the boundaries between you and the world begin to dissolve. You realize that you are not separate from life, but an expression of it. This is the heart of Zen practice, to let go of the stories, labels, and comparisons that keep you trapped, and to wake up to the miracle of your own existence. But presence is not just a spiritual idea, it's a practical tool, a way to reclaim your mind, your energy and your life from the endless cycle of comparison. Dogen's primary practice was Zazen, seated meditation. He believed that by simply sitting, breathing and being present, we can see through the illusions that keep us stuck. In Zazen, there is no goal, no competition, no comparison. There is only this breath, this body, this moment. You are not trying to become better than anyone else. You are not trying to become better than yourself. You are simply being. At first, this can feel uncomfortable, even unbearable. The mind rebels. It wants to compare, to judge, to plan, to escape. But with practice, something shifts. You begin to see your thoughts for what they are, just thoughts, not reality. You begin to notice the beauty of the present moment, the feeling of air on your skin, the sound of your breath, the beating of your heart. Dogen taught that this simple act of sitting is the gateway to freedom. When you stop running from yourself, you discover that you are enough just as you are. One of Dogen's most radical teachings was that there is no finish line, no final destination, no ultimate achievement. In the West, we are obsessed with progress, always striving, always reaching, always comparing ourselves to some imagined ideal. But Dogen saw that this endless striving is itself a form of suffering. He wrote, "If you cannot find the truth where you are now, you will never find it." The idea that happiness lies somewhere else, in another job, another relationship, another version of yourself, is an illusion. The truth is, you are already whole. You are already complete. The only thing missing is your own acceptance. This doesn't mean you stop growing or improving. It means you stop measuring your worth by comparison. You stop chasing after someone else's life and start living your own. Dogen didn't just teach meditation. He taught that every moment is an opportunity to wake up, to be present, to be alive, to be free from comparison. He wrote, "When you walk, just walk. When you eat, just eat." In other words, bring your full attention to whatever you are doing. Don't let your mind wander to what others are doing or what you should be doing. Be here now. This practice of everyday mindfulness is the antidote to comparison. When you are fully engaged in your own life, there is no room for envy, resentment, or self-doubt. You become absorbed in the richness of your own experience. Try it now. Feel your breath. Notice the sensations in your body. Listen to the sounds around you. For a moment, let go of the need to measure up. Just be. Let me share a story. Hiroshi was a young man living in Tokyo, constantly comparing himself to his friends. Every time someone got a promotion, bought a new car, or posted a happy photo online, Hiroshi felt a wave of envy and self-doubt. He worked harder, pushed himself further. But no matter what he achieved, it was never enough. One day, feeling exhausted and empty, Hiroshi stumbled into a Zen temple. He met an old monk who listened quietly as Hiroshi poured out his frustrations. The monk handed him a broom and said, "Sweep the garden." At first, Hiroshi was confused. How could sweeping help him? But as he swept, he began to notice the sound of the bristles, the feel of the handle, the pattern of the stones. For the first time in years, his mind grew quiet. The monk explained, "When you compare, you are not here. You are lost in someone else's life. But when you sweep, just sweep. When you live, just live." Hiroshi began to practice Zazen, to bring mindfulness into his daily life. Slowly, the grip of comparison loosened. He found joy in simple things, making tea, walking in the park, talking with friends. He realized that his life was not better or worse than anyone else's, just different, just his own. By embracing Dogen's teachings, Hiroshi found a peace that no achievement could give him. Modern science is finally catching up to what Dogen taught centuries ago. Studies show that social comparison is a major source of anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem. The more we compare, the worse we feel. But research also shows that mindfulness, the practice of being present, reduces the urge to compare, increases self-acceptance, and boosts happiness. When we focus on our own experience, our own journey, we become less interested in what others are doing. Neuroscientists have found that mindfulness changes the brain, strengthening areas related to self-awareness and compassion, and weakening those linked to envy and rumination. In other words, Dōgen was right. The path to freedom from comparison is presence. Dōgen also taught the importance of Shoshin, the beginner's mind. When you approach life with curiosity, openness, and humility, you stop comparing yourself to others. You become more interested in learning, growing, and experiencing life as it is. Self-compassion is a natural result. Instead of judging yourself for not measuring up, you treat yourself with kindness and understanding. You realize that everyone is on their own path, facing their own struggles. When you let go of comparison, you make space for gratitude, joy, and genuine connection. Imagine a life where you wake up each day grateful for your own journey, not wishing for someone else's, not measuring your worth by someone else's standards. Imagine feeling at peace with who you are, where you are, and what you have. This is the promise of Dōgen's teachings. It's not about becoming perfect. It's about becoming present. It's about living your own story fully and unapologetically. Your path is yours alone. No one else can walk it. No one else can live it. And that is your greatest gift. Now it's your turn. In the comments, write one thing you will do this week to practice presence and let go of comparison. Will you meditate? Will you take a walk without your phone? Will you write down 3 things you're grateful for in your own life? Make it public. Make it real. Let this be your first step toward freedom. And if you found value in this video, subscribe to the channel. Share it with someone who needs this message. And join our community of people who are ready to stop comparing and start living. Remember, comparison is a habit, but so is presence. Every time you catch yourself measuring your life against others, gently return to your own breath, your own body, your own experience. Dōgen Zenji taught that enlightenment is not somewhere else. It's right here, right now, in the life you are living. So stop chasing someone else's dream. Stop measuring your worth by someone else's journey. Start living your own. Thank you for watching. If this video inspired you, subscribe, comment, and share it with someone who needs to hear Dōgen's wisdom. Remember, your life is not meant to be compared. It is meant to be lived. Your journey begins now. See you in the next video.